Do you struggle with getting things done on time? Do you need a little help being more productive? If so, you are in the right place because I'm going to share some tips for how to overcome procrastination and be more productive. Hey, I'm Cherith Fluker. Around here, I love helping busy women be unapologetic about putting themselves first. So welcome back to the channel. So glad that you're here. So let's talk about how to overcome procrastination. The very first tip that I have for you is to plan your day. Some of us get intimidated by planners and by having to-do lists, but it's really helpful, especially if you're someone who procrastinates. Go ahead and take some time to write down the things that you need to get done for the day so that you know at the start of your day what it is that you need to accomplish by the end of the day. Planning your day does not have to be overly complicated. You can just simply list the things that you need to get accomplished for that day or for that week. It really helps you to put things in perspective about how much time you have to get something done so that you can be really realistic about whether or not you're able to get those things done. You can use a planner, you can use your phone, whatever it is, just make yourself a list of the things that you have to get done for that day. Again, if you are not someone who likes the thought of using a planner, try some different methods. Try listing something in the notes of your phone or writing it down on a piece of paper. Whatever will work best for you. Just try a few different methods so that you can figure out what's going to work for you. The second thing is to be honest about your priorities. You know that there are some things that are non-negotiables that you need to get done, and you need to be really honest about those things. That way, you will spend time getting those things done first and then doing some of the other things. Think about the value of those tasks, and those things that are high value, place them at the top of your priority list and then work on a plan to get those things done first. You know that if you have something that is really, really important to you or that's really important to someone else and you don't want to let them down, you need to make sure to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into those things and to do those things without being distracted. My next tip is one of the things that I really had to work on, and that is being realistic about the amount of time that it takes to get a task done. So my tip is to overestimate the time that it's going to take you to do a task. For instance, if you think a task is going to take you 30 minutes, go ahead and estimate that it's going to take you an hour, and then that gives you time for, those mishaps that happen while you're working on a task. If you get a phone call or if, something else pulls you away, make sure that you're planning for those things so that you don't get too sidetracked when things happen that keep you from doing the task that you're working on. You really want to overestimate that time, because a lot of times another thing that will happen is that we will pile on more stuff because we're like, oh, I can do this in 30 minutes. Oh, it'll only take me 15 minutes to do that. And then we end up adding a whole lot of tasks that take more time than we really think that it takes. And then we end up getting nothing done, or we get very few things on our to-do list done. So my tip is to overestimate the time that it'll take to get something done. My next tip is to begin the process early. Sometimes you have tasks that you know about that aren't due until the end of the week or the end of the month. Go ahead and start those tasks as early as you can. Don't keep putting it off, because you're likely to put it off more and more when you know that you have more time, if that makes sense. So just go ahead and start as soon as you can. When there is a window of time in your day or in your week that you can work on that project, go ahead and start on it. Don't just wait simply because you have the time to wait, because a lot of times that just ends up you waiting and waiting and waiting, and then there you are at the very last minute trying to get a task done, stressing yourself out. You don't need to do that. So go ahead and start on those tasks as soon as you can. Another tip is to focus on your why. Think about those tasks that you have to complete and why you're doing it. What is the reason that you're doing those tasks? Getting clear on your why helps you to be more in tune with what you have to do, and it really helps you to focus on that thing that you have to complete. If you think about the bigger picture and what effect that task is going to have on other people, that may make it a little bit more important for you to go ahead and get that thing done. Next is to designate what you can. Sometimes you have tasks that don't necessarily have to be completed by you. If there are some things that you can designate to other people, go ahead and reach out to get that help that you need to get the task done. There's nowhere that says that everything has to be done by you. I know when we have things that, fall in our lap, we want to make sure that it's done correctly, but, go ahead and build that capacity with other people and allow them to help you if they're able to. So if you have some task within that project project that you're working on that can be designated to other people, go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity so that you can get things done. Here's another one: stop making excuses. We make excuses sometimes to give us a reason to delay starting that task. It is so easy to make an excuse when you don't want to complete a task. Don't look for people or things to blame on why you didn't get something done. Go ahead and do what you need to do and stop making those little excuses that keep you from getting the task done. The next one is really important: find an accountability partner. Having someone to answer to or to help to keep you in check while you're trying to get something done can be really important. I love having accountability partners when I'm trying to exercise and eat right, or any other task that I have to do, just to say, hey girl, did you do that thing, or did you go ahead and work out, or whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Having an accountability partner is very helpful because it keeps you on track. When you know that you have somebody that's going to be asking you about whether or not you did it, you don't want to disappoint them by saying no, so it is helpful to have an accountability partner. Next, reward good behavior. If you have a big project that you're working on and you have several little tasks, reward yourself along the way. If you get one part of that done, maybe you can go for an ice cream, or, whatever it is, get some small item that you've been wanting, or whatever the case is, but just rewarding yourself along the way so that you are motivated to reach specific goals within that project that you're working on. So rewards always work for me. If it's not your thing, that's cool, but it may help, so go ahead and try it. I have learned also that this next thing is what keeps me from getting things done quickly, and that is trying to be perfect. So don't aim to be perfect. Perfection is impossible anyway. So don't beat yourself up and don't prolong getting a task done because you're trying to be perfect. You can fix it on the back end. Go ahead and get things done, and don't mull over one specific part of the project because you're so focused on trying to make that thing perfect. Go ahead, like I said, get it done and worry about fixing it later. My next tip: just do it. Whatever that thing is that you need to do, just make yourself get up and do it. You'll feel so much better and so much more accomplished when you go ahead and do that thing instead of thinking about it. Sometimes we spend so much time thinking about the task that we probably could have completed the task. So instead of just sitting around thinking about why you shouldn't, or some obstacles that you may face along the way, go ahead and do that thing. Lastly, forgive yourself. If you are working on a particular task and you mess up or you fail along the way, forgive yourself. Don't spend so much time thinking about or beating yourself up for something that you did wrong or something that you should have done differently. Don't waste that time. Forgive yourself and move on. You can minimize procrastination by taking one or more of these tips into consideration. The important thing is that you are making a conscious effort to be better. Procrastination is not uncommon. A lot of people procrastinate on tasks, but you want to, in an effort to be better and to cause yourself less stress in the long run, you want to go ahead and be intentional about making a change if you're someone who is a procrastinator. So keep these tasks in mind when you want to move forward and work on being a better you. Thanks so much for tuning into the video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the alert so that you're notified every time I put out a new video. I'll see you in the next one.